Here on continuing coverage at VMUG in Chicago, I'm Andy McCaskey from SDR News, and we've got Rick Vanover from Veeam. And you've just come off the platform.
Yeah, thanks. It's been already a very busy morning. We had our breakout session, and we're in between sessions now at the booth. I gave a great little speech. I try to speak to the users wherever they may be here in the VMware community. They might be Veeam customers, they might not be. So my content here, I always put a lot of thought into the content, but basically I want to speak to everyone where they're at. They might be a Veeam customer, they might not. And basically I had everyone walk away with some practical tips for their VMware environment. Everything from, the knobs and dials that can make things speed up a little bit, or maybe additional recovery types that you might not have thought about.
So Veeam is really focused on this notion of being able to take your machines and back that up so that you get into trouble, not that you ever that ever happens, right? You got something to go back to.
Oh, absolutely. And the thing I like to kind of throw out is that Veeam can do one agentless backup and give you 26 different recovery options. We got you covered A to Z.
Indeed. As you introduce the concept to customers, what's kind of the hardest thing for them to grasp initially, and then there's this aha?
Well, much like our fundamental change in our data centers when we virtualized here, which everyone here is interested in that, we have found that things like backup and management need changing as well. And so backups and storage and things like that are very emotionally passionate things to the IT pro and the VMware admin. So it actually is a big change to try to convince someone to do something different, but it's sometimes made easy when they have a problem. And I'm like, look, hey, I've got nothing but evidence that says this will work better this way. Give it a try.
And so it's a crisis reaction or a recent crisis that was very painful to resolve.
Yeah, and 100% of our customer base are actually from replacing other products. So, we've spoken to the pain points, and that's actually a stronger piece of leverage than just coming in with the best price. So, the term we use is built for virtualization. Follow their interests, deliver the product right to their needs.
What do people think is difficult in the process that actually turns out to be pretty straightforward?
Well, that's a good question. The hard part is, much like we've changed our data center, people's requirements may have changed. So trying to quantify those requirements tends to be one of the biggest changes, or and how do I do it, and that's the challenge. So things like, how much storage do I need to make? How do I draw it up? And in Veeam's language, we lean on our partners to do that. And I make a lot of content online to help people go that route, but everything Veeam does is wizard driven and requires no more than 5 wizard clicks. That's good and bad in a way, but we want to speak to people at all levels. So for very complex environments, they need to think about it a little bit more. For simple environments, the defaults will just work. So depends on where they come from.
Yeah, indeed. So what would be the most common question that a user presents to you?
The fundamental question I get all the time is, how does it work? And I mentioned.
So how does it work?
So it's a Windows app, right? And that's the beauty of it. It can go anywhere. It can be a virtual machine. It can be a physical machine. Honestly, that's not a bad strategy even today, just in terms of separation. And it installs on any recent version of Windows, even Windows 7, Windows 8 can be a desktop class operating system, doesn't have to be a server. So there's an incredible realm of flexibility that we provide with the product and speak to the customer's needs. And we've been pretty successful. We just fished the Q3 number was 73,000, but I think we just crossed over 80,000 customers worldwide. It's crazy.
Excellent. Where can people go for more information?
Well, everything starts at veeam.com, and you can also follow Veeam on Twitter, and throw a question out there. I'll even give you an answer myself.
What's your Twitter?
Well, you can go to Veeam or myself at Rick Vanover.
Excellent. Thanks very much, Rick. And thanks to you folks for continuing to follow us here at VMUG in Chicago.